Hello everyone, Zeak here again, and last time we talked about the Interceptor in its role and its arsenal of weapons and equipment. Today, we will be discussing the bomber. I do have concerns, and have decided to leave most of them to their own video, as I might go off in a rant. Well, actually, I will be going off in a rant. There will be good information in the video, so please do not skip it if you can stand a light rant. For now, let's get back to the initial talk. First off, I would like to mention that the balance of a bomber can easily make or break a game because of the amount of power these ships tend to bring to the field. By that I mean, why bring even a single capital ship to take a station if just a few inexpensive bombers can do the job just as good? Yes, I know that interceptors will destroy them, but it's doubtful they'll come alone unless it's a sneak attack and they can get off enough of their ordnance to finish the job. So how does one balance the king of the glass cannons? Well, let's take a look at what they are planning for the ship. From the website, it states that a handful of bombers can cause serious damage to enemy capital ships and infrastructure. A handful. Is this spanning most, if not all of their ordnance? Or are we talking just a few passes here? Also, if you read the cruiser description, it states cruisers are weak to bombers armed with long-range weaponry. This is all fine, but the longer the range, the less the damage should be, as there will be less room for the warhead. At close range, however, bombers need to be a realistic threat. In this situation, their damage is high, but the warhead is dumb-fired and has no tracking. Now I realize this is very premature, and even still, it will require a lot of hands-on testing. But I just want to put this out there to voice my concern. Before we continue talking about balance, let's discuss weapons and equipment. So first off, what should its main cannon be? It's neither fast or agile enough to attempt dogfighting, well, serious dogfighting, but since it's a small ship, it should definitely be capable of carrying fighter weapons. It should also be given a large gun for fighting corvettes. True, the corvette should be strong enough to take it out, but it can't stop a swarm, obviously. Should this be all of its main guns? Perhaps a gun strong enough to lightly damage structures and capitals, or at least their subsystems. This is good for when their ordnance runs out. Or a system-affecting weapon, to at least cause a little bit of havoc. Now for ordnance. Well, obviously, it will have heavy missiles or torpedoes. These would definitely be its primary weapon. But there's more to this game than just space, isn't there? What about planets? Should these heavy-duty explosives be capable of orbital bombardment, or should that be solely reserved for capital ships? I say leave it for the capital ships, just to give them another reason to grab them over a bomber. Why go down to the planet when you can just glass it from above? So if it needs to go down to a planet, are missiles and torpedoes affected by the gravity and atmosphere just like the ships are? This can be a good thing, because bombers can use, you guessed it, bombs. It's a good idea. They won't need to stay low to avoid anti-air fire, as their low agility would mean crashing into the terrain. If they can drop from within the atmosphere at high altitude, possibly above the AA, the only thing they have to fear is interceptors and corvettes if they don't have an escort with them. For different types of bombs, they can have the heavy unguided, precision for taking out hardpoints or key objectives, and if there's any point defense, carpet bomb. So how should bombers function? Well, system damage to ships and stations needs to be a thing, as bombers are pretty much the kings of that as well. In terms of damage done to hull, a single bomber should be able to do approximately 5 to 10% of, say, a cruiser's hull. Personally, I say lower, but let's start talking about this first. This seems small at first, but at max damage, you only need 10 bombers to one volley a cruiser. And at minimum, you would need 20 bombers to one volley it. Again, these are just numbers for example, so take them with a dash of salt. Also, this is just my opinion, but please add your thoughts. I would really like to hear them. For now, this is all I can think about without going on a rant. Again, I will make another video with deeper concerns, so please stay tuned. For now, this is all I can think about, at least without going on a rant. Again, I will make another video with deeper concerns, so please stay tuned. Also, I would like to mention that these videos, for now, are an introductory pretty much to just about everything I'm talking about, ships in general. I will have a bit more on them as the game shapes up and I gain more thoughts about them. So, as always, please leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below, and until then, help keep space epic.